Praise the Lord. Good morning. I hope this morning has found you blessed, encouraged, uplifted, and ready for the day, and excited of all the possibilities that this day could bring. I would like to share a testimony with you of something God has done for me in my life, and I want to talk to you briefly about faith and fear. And I'd like to start with Elijah's story. And, Elijah done such mighty and great things through God and his faith in God. And he had such a boldness and a confidence. He raises the widow's son. He kills all the prophets of Baal. I think there's like 450 of them. There's just many, many things. And I would like to read briefly right here in chapter 19. And this is after he kills the prophets of Baal. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had killed all the prophets of Baal with the sword. And Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, So let the gods do to me, and more so, if I make not your life as the life of them by tomorrow about this time. And when he had saw that, he rose and went for his life, and came to Beersheba, which belongs to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said, It is enough now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. And he had just overcome 450 prophets of Baal. And now he is in fear of one woman. You know, too often we believe the lies of the enemy instead of the truth and the word of God. And as he laid and slept under the juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, Arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake beaten on the coals, and a cruse of water at its head. And he did eat and drink, and laid himself down again. And the angel of the Lord came to him again the second time, and touched him, and said, Rise and eat, because this journey is too great. You know, fear can lead us straight out of the will of God, and just get us right on another path that we ain't even supposed to be on. And faith keeps us on that path and directs us to the will of God. You know, many times in my life, I've probably had many wayward trips and probably got off that path because of fear. But here, he'd done such great and mighty things, and he let the enemy use Jezebel's words to strike fear into his heart. Second Corinthians says, For we live by faith and not sight. James 1:6, But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. You know, Elijah probably felt that way. He probably felt like he was driven by every wind and wave, and just feeling like he was tossed and tore up. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:6. But without faith it is impossible to please God. Romans 1:17. The just shall live by faith. You know, before I get into reading about the scriptures on fear, I'd like to tell you a little testimony of something God did for me, and how fear was a great part of it. About two years ago, I'd say it was about 2 years ago, I started to get sick. Every time I ate, I began to get sick. It started out, you know, just feeling miserable and a lot of belching, burping, just feeling uncomfortable. And then it got worse and worse and worse and worse, and to the point where I just I couldn't get food. I just could not seem to consume food without just so much pain and misery and just being really, really, really sick. So I battled this for months, and to come to find, I went to doctors and everything, and come to find out, the doctor says, we believe your stomach has just stopped digesting food. It stopped working, which I think the name for it is gastroparesis. So many tests were done, and I still couldn't eat. I just couldn't eat, and I lost a tremendous amount of weight. I was in little children's size clothing. If you know anything about children's size clothing, I was in like a 10, 12, well, no, more like a 14 in children's, but needless to say, I got really, very thin. And I'm a tall girl, so I look probably very skeleton-like. But I was resorting to baby food, the pureed kind, and it was messing with my stomach. I tried. Insurers could not tolerate it. My stomach would give me a fit. The food, I guess, was just rotting in my stomach. It was not digesting. So I battled this for months and began to just lose and lose and lose more weight. And fear gripped me. And some would say, oh, well, that's just normal, to be afraid to eat. Well, I mean, it gripped me to the point where I no longer prayed and tried. I just had it in my mind that I could not. This is not a possibility. The pain was more than I could stand. I'm not going to do this. I just can't. I accepted it, and got to the point where I just knew that I began to think, this is it. It's my time to go. I'm going to die. And I told the Lord, I said, Lord, whatever your will is, I trust in you. I believe in you, and I leave it in your hands. And I had someone say something to me one day, why don't you let me cook you some food and you just try? No, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. I mean, just fear had me. That was it. Fear had me. And I began to try to juice, use a juicer. And that was working pretty good. I could drink juice, so I was grinding up, kale and lettuce and whatever I could, and that was working all right. And this person kept on, you need to have faith, you need to try. So they cooked me something, and I ate it, and my stomach was able to accept it. And you know what? Truth be known, I probably could have eaten a couple months beforehand. This battle went on probably 6 or 8 months, but I probably could have begun to eat a few months sooner if I had have kept trying and not letting that fear grip me. And if I had have let it and God hadn't intervened, and I probably I could have died. So praise God. I'm delivered. I eat everything. I can eat anything and everything. And I'm so thankful for it. So I'm not going to ever take for granted the ability to eat food. It's wonderful. But I allowed fear to get in my way. It's not what we feel. It's not what we feel. It's not what we see. Never walk by what you feel and what you see. It'll get you in trouble. It'll mess you up. It leads you in all sorts of directions that you shouldn't be going in. And it'll cause you to give in to fear, doubt. We walk by faith. Walk by faith is what we know that we know that we know in His name, in His holy word. We know the end of the story. We know that we're going to be victorious. We know through Him that we are going to be overcomers. Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, it is He that goeth with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee. Psalms 118:6. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear what man can do to me. I know. What can man do to me? Nothing. If the Lord's on your side, if he's got your back, if he's standing there beside you, there's nothing the devil, there's nothing man, there's nothing no one could do, because you have the Almighty by your side. Proverbs 29:25. The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. 1 John 4:18. Fear hath torment. And if you've ever feared, if you've ever felt fear, which I know you have, you'll know that it has such torment. It's such a miserable, miserable feeling. And God does not want that for us. He wants us to believe and stand strong by faith and courage and grabbing a hold of that word and knowing that he is with us, he's guiding us, and through him all things are possible. You know, a lot of us today may be getting a little bit discouraged because we're so excited and we have been looking for the Lord to come back, and we just know that we're living in the last days, and we got that expectancy. And let's not be discouraged. Let's be encouraged, because today's another day for all of us to get our hearts right, to have our lamps full, our garments clean and white, a chance to witness and to be that light to the lost, to pray for boldness and strength to just get out and to do his will and to talk to those that need him and that don't know him. You know, prayer changes things. Judgments were changed in the Bible. They were lessened in severity. Death dates were changed. Mercy was shown. Healings, miracles, signs, wonders. We are mighty in the Lord. Stand bold, stand strong, stand up, be heard, cry out. Let God use you today. Let him use you in a mighty way. Submit ourselves to him. Say, I don't even want my thoughts to be my thoughts. I want to be your thoughts, Lord. Not my will, but your will. Not my ways, but your ways. You know, in times of war and danger, the soldiers, they don't go out on their own. They don't just jump and make hasty, careless decisions. You know, they look to their superior to guide them. And not only in word, but they make that eye contact and hand gestures. They have to stay focused and observant and obey orders because their lives depend on it. We need to be so in tune with the Lord and careful and look into him for every step and his guidance, not our ways, not our wills, because he knows what's ahead. He knows where the traps are. He knows where the hidden enemies and dangers are. He knows where those landmines, so to speak, are. And we need to look to him, and we need to stay focused on him and walk in faith and not fear. And be encouraged. Let God use you today. Let him use you in such a mighty way. Be blessed today. Be encouraged today. Pray more today. Fast a little today. Take one step closer than you was yesterday to the Lord. Let him be so tied up, wrapped up, and coiled within him that you don't even know where you begin and he ends, and he ends and you begin. Be blessed. Be encouraged. God bless you. Bye.